The 4-year-old's wails sliced through the humid afternoon. "Lily! Where'd you go, Lily?" He stumbled through the cluttered living room, tripping over a discarded pizza box. The stench of stale beer and something sickly sweet hung in the air. June, sprawled on the couch, didn't stir, her breath ragged. The cries escalated, reaching a screeching pitch that pierced through the apartment's walls and awoke Mr. Henderson next door. He marched over, finding the front door open and the boy hysterical. "June! June, wake up!" Mr. Henderson roared, shaking her shoulder. She blinked blearily, swatting at his hand like a fly. "My Lily! Gone!" the boy shrieked, clinging to Mr. Henderson's leg. Disgust warred with pity on Mr. Henderson's face. He scooped up the trembling boy and carried him home with him, his hand already dialing 911. The search for Lily ripped through the town like wildfire. Volunteers combed the streets, their faces etched with grim determination. Soon came the chilling discovery. A flash of pink caught a searcher's eye. Lily's dress, snagged on a branch overhanging a deadly acid pond at the abandoned chemical plant. Her tiny body dangled like a rag doll, her crying desperate. The air crackled with tension as a fireman, heart pounding, nervously inched along the limb slowly and desperately. Every shaking leaf, every creak of the old oak threatened to paralyze him with fear. He spoke to her in a low, soothing tone, his hand outstretched, praying the branch wouldn't snap under their combined weight. Every second stretched into an eternity, an agonizing balance between hope and the unknown. Firefighters wrestled with a tangled net, their only chance to save little Lily, and maybe one of their own. A police officer who was standing near the deadly pond watched as firefighters laboriously tried to untangle the net. The branch was breaking. The officer knew that there was no time to wait. He yelled to the firemen, "Throw her to me!" Just then, the branch snapped completely off. The fireman lunged forward, ripping Lily's dress free from the snagging branch. With a desperate heave, he hurled her in the direction of the waiting officer. He watched Lily in seemingly slow motion, sailing through the air, screaming in terror. "Please, please," the fireman whispered. Then he heard screams of joy as the officer clumsily yet safely caught Lily. The fireman knew that the joyful cheering meant that Lily was safe and that he had saved her life. The cheers from the crowd shifted his thoughts to memories of his son's first Little League game. His wife in the stands cheering for their son, 9 months pregnant with their little girl. "I love you all so much. Remarry someone kind," were the last thoughts the fireman had before landing in the acid pond. The screams of cheer turned to screams of shock and horror. The scene was like something out of a movie. Everyone knew there was no hope for the fireman. They knew there would be no body to recover, and that his family would never see him again. And that it was because a neglectful mother didn't watch her kids. Meanwhile, an officer's fists hammered on June's door, each blow a testament to his rage. The incessant knocking woke June, and she opened the door to find 2 very angry police officers. "Where's your daughter?" they demanded. She stared at them, her eyes glazed with confusion. Her demeanor and lack of knowledge about her daughter further infuriated the officers. "Hands behind your back," one of the officers shouted. "Jail! You're taking me to jail," June slurred. The news of Lily's predicament barely registered. She was lost in a fog of self-pity and withdrawal. Child Protective Services quickly intervened, placing Lily and her brother in separate foster homes. Their hearts were shattered, as were the hearts of the firemen's family and friends. June had no one to bail her out of jail, as she sat in the filthy cell at the county jail facing charges of neglect and endangerment. She blamed Lily for getting out of their apartment and for putting herself in the situation that cost a fireman his life. She mumbled to herself, she should have known better. Her brother shouldn't have let her go out of the apartment. Screw those little brats. Let someone else have them. I'm young enough to have more.